Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. With this video, I'm bringing you guys some Ancient Gear combos, and this is post Legacy of Destruction. If you want to see the deck profile, it will be in the top right corner. We're going to get started here with a 1.5 card combo using Ancient Gear Advance and a card to discard. And this is when you're going second, and thus your opponent's going to have a monster here. So we're going to activate Advance. Advance will let us search out the Ancient Gear Catapult. So with Ancient Gear Catapult, when you control no monsters, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get ourselves the Ancient Gear Golem, activate Golem's effect here, which will let us search 2 cards out. Then because Gearbox was searched out, we can use the effect here in order to get Commander. Now we can normal summon Commander and send one Ancient Gear Golem from our hand, deck, or face of monster zone to the grave, and then normal summon after that. So we can do that to pitch the Ancient Gear Golem, get ourselves Wyvern, and Wyvern is a great just generic search for the deck here. Go get ourselves the Tanker. Then we can go in, link into the Platinum Gadget, activate Platinum Gadget's effect here in order to special summon out the Tanker. Activate Tanker's effect here, which will let us special summon either an Ancient Gear monster from our hand, or if our opponent controls a monster, we can special summon one from the grave instead, and that's exactly what we're going to do, and get out the Ancient Gear Golem. Then activate Commander's effect here in order to get ourselves the Ancient Gear Dark Golem. Link summon into the Ancient Gear Ballista, activate Ballista's effect in order to search out the Gear Town. Then we use Tanker's effect to pop the Gear Town, and Gear Town is great because when this card is destroyed and sent to the grave, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand, deck, or grave. So we can get out what we want, and in this case it's going to be Ancient Gear Frame. Now we can activate Frame's effect in order to discard the Ancient Gear box and search ourselves a spell, and this will be Ancient Gear Fusion. So now we're going to fuse, and if we use Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound, then we can also use monsters from the deck as material, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Then we're going to exceed into the Spring Against Merrymaker, and that's just going to be so that we can go into the Gigantic Champion Sargus. Activate Champion Sargus' effect in order to search out the Therian King Regulus. Activate Regulus' effect in order to get it out here. Get ourselves the material for the Regulus. What's great is that afterwards we can use Ballista's effect here. We're going to pop the monster, doesn't really matter, but we are going to be able to search out our Polymerization. Activate Polymerization's effect in order to get ourselves the Ancient Gear Howitzer. Then Howitzer's effect will let us do 1000 damage of burn. Then we can attack. And of course, just showing you guys that you can go into a Zeus. You could have attacked for game, but besides that, you could see that with the Therian King Regulus, it's nice because it does give you a form of negate for this deck, and because this deck isn't really able to get out any negates quite yet, you're going to see with the deck profile that there is the Ancient Gear Dragon that's coming out soon, and that is going to provide a Spell Trap negate, which is nice, but this is a great Omni negate that you could just put into this deck. And otherwise, you do have like aggressive builds or aggressive monsters here in the form of a Chaos Ancient Gear Giant that is just unaffected by spells and traps, and your opponent cannot activate effects during the battle phase, and this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls, so obviously you're going to be able to kill them with that. And then you have a wall in the form of Ancient Gear Howitzer that does have low defense, but at least it's unaffected by other card effects, so it's going to be a little annoying for them to deal with. But otherwise, let's go to the next combo. Alright guys, so the next combo that I have for you is a 2-card combo using Ancient Gear Advance and Ancient Gear Tanker. So we're going to activate Advance here. This is going to let us search out the Catapult. Activate the Catapult, use the effect, pop the Advance. Then get ourselves the Dark Golem. This card is really great just because you're able to search out 2 Ancient Gear cards. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get ourselves Ancient Gear Duel and the Commander, and discard the Commander here. But the Ancient Gear Duel is nice because it does your Ancient Gear monsters a bit stronger, as monsters you control that are Ancient Gear Golem or mention it are unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects. So this kind of makes them into semi-towers, except that of course they're still weak to spells and traps, but there are some Ancient Gear monsters that have that protection either way. But regardless, it does create a form of towers for the deck, and that's great because it'll make it a lot more annoying for your opponent to deal with. Then we're going to normal summon out the Tanker. Okay, and now we're going to link summon into Ballista. Activate Ballista's effect to get our Gear Town. Then we're going to use Commander's effect here, put ourselves the Duel. Use Ballista's effect in order to make Tankers attack 0 and pop the Gear Town. And then with Gear Town we can special summon the monster from the deck, and then we're going to get ourselves Ancient Gear Wyvern. Activate Wyvern's effect to get ourselves the Ancient Gear Fortress, which provides a bit of protection for the deck. As you can see, during the turn they were normal or special summon, your opponent cannot target Ancient Gear monsters you control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So this is kind of telling you it's all adding up with the whole protection that we're seeing with the Ancient Gear Duel as well. So now we're going to Fusion Summon, go into the Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem here, if this card attacks, your opponent can activate spell cards until the damage step. And if this card is destroyed, you can target one Ancient Gear Golem in your grave, special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then we have a form of protection for it in the sense of Ancient Gear Fortress here. Since we are able to get it out using this card as the Fusion Summon, then we can get it out during our opponent's turn, and thus giving it the protection where it cannot be targeted, cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. And not only that, but you can also use Ancient Gear Duel here, where your monsters you control that are Ancient Gear Golem or mention it are unaffected by opponent's activated monster effects. So you can see Ancient Gear Golem is mentioned here, so it does have that protection as well. So we get ourselves a pretty beefy monster that's going to be relatively annoying for your opponent to get rid of. Alright guys, before we go to the third combo, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a member so you can try to influence the content I create. Otherwise, here we're going to go with an Ancient Gear Wyvern. This is a 1-card combo. So we're going to normal summon the Wyvern, activate Wyvern's effect, search out any Ancient Gear card. Thus we're going to get Advance, use Advance's effect here in order to get Catapult. Then with Advance we can actually get rid of the Wyvern and then activate the Catapult here. So then we can get the Ancient Gear Golem, Dark Golem. Activate Dark Golem's effect in order to search 2 cards. Get ourselves the Ancient Gear Fusion and the Ancient Gear Commander. Then we're going to fuse into the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. So you can see it's a simple 1-card combo that just shows you how to go straight into the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. If you have other cards that are able to build this up and make it even stronger, something like the Ancient Gear Duel, then that's going to be great. Or even the continuous spell that can give you some immunity when it's summoned, that's even better. But otherwise a really simple 1-card combo that is relatively effective for just going into this boss monster. But now let's go to the next combo. Alright guys, so the final combo that I have for you is using Ancient Gear Tanker and Ancient Gear Dark Golem. So we're going to normal summon out the Tanker, use the effect here to special summon out the Dark Golem. Then we can use Dark Golem's effect in order to search out 2 Ancient Gear cards. In this instance, we're going to get ourselves the Catapult and the Gear Town. Activate Gear Town. Activate Catapult's effect once again. And then here we're going to be able to get ourselves the Ancient Gear token. So then we can use Gear Town's effect in order to special summon an Ancient Gear from the deck. In this instance, it's going to be Ancient Gear Wyvern. Activate Wyvern's effect. The nice thing is that it's whether it's normal or special summon, so now we can get ourselves the Advance. Activate Advance in order to get ourselves the Ancient Gear Fusion. Now we can Exceed Summon into the Spring Its Merrymaker, which is just to Exceed Climb into the Gigantic Champion Sargus. Activate Sargus' effect here in order to get ourselves Ethereum Regulus, which is just a great negate for the deck. Fusion Summon, and because we're using the Dark Golem here, or the Gear Golem here, we're actually going to be able to use cards from the deck. And in this instance, we're going to get ourselves the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. Use the Iron King Regulus effect once again, get it out. So here we have the boss monster in the form of Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. We have the Iron King Regulus as an Omni-Gate as well. And we were able to achieve this with 2-card combos, so pretty simple setup, but pretty powerful. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.